Hi guys, welcome to Chris Ryan Golf. We're at the Belfry again today at the PGA National Golf Academy, and we're going to talk about the backswing in this video, and we're going to give you a feeling, or we'll call it a feeling rather than a drill, which is going to help you make a better turn as you move the club away from the golf ball. So let's first of all talk about the area of the golf swing that we're discussing, and then we're going to go through the drill or the feeling that I want you to employ, which is going to give you some hopefully better feels to achieve some better positions. So if I just take my normal address, this golf ball, I've got a 6 iron here. Very, very commonly, I will see golfers, when they make their backswing, they will make a lateral movement away from the target. So as the club begins its move, the upper body will follow and make this lateral move. Very, very rarely do I see golfers in the takeaway move their upper body towards the target. It does happen, but more common is a moving away from the target. Now, very difficult for me to sort of suggest why that would be. Could be lots of different reasons, but I believe that because the golf club is moving this way, people are maybe trying to create width or wide arc. They tend to move everything in this fashion. So to sort of help with that, we're just going to go through something you can, as I say, you can feel in your takeaway, which is going to give you a better sensation for the backswing. So what we're going to do is, from a normal address position here, okay, we are going to imagine that I'm standing against a wall, and that wall is in contact with the outside of my right shoulder. Okay, so you can see the line on there. Now, obviously, as I take the club away, the golf club would pass through that wall, so we're not too worried about that. We're thinking more about the shoulder. Now, when I draw that line, if I'm using a video camera, I will very often see that right shoulder in the takeaway break through that line quite early. So you can see here quite clearly that my right shoulder's moved quite a long way to the right, too much lateral, and I haven't really started to turn or engage my rotation as I want to. If we make a good turn away from the golf ball, so I'm hopefully going to try and demonstrate that now, I'm only going to move the club a few feet, but what you should see is against that imaginary wall, my right shoulder will in fact move slightly away from it. Okay, so I haven't moved towards the target to move that. All I've done is I've rotated around a steady head. Okay, if I can keep my head nice and central and rotate my upper body accordingly, my right shoulder will move away from that wall. So how's this going to help us in the golf swing? Well, what we're going to do is we're going to look at the turn and explain what happens, maybe give you a different feel for that. So if I just stand up normally and place the club across my shoulders, if I make a turn, basically, as far as the camera is concerned, which is where you're viewing this from, when I turn, my left shoulder is going to move towards the camera, and my right shoulder is going to move away from the camera. So my right shoulder is going behind me, and my left shoulder is coming in front of me. Now that's the feeling we want in the golf swing. So rather than thinking about left and right, or towards the target and away from the target, I want you to think about forward and back. So I'm going to feel from setup that I'm going to move my right shoulder behind me. Now if I move my right shoulder behind me, that's going to create a good turn, but it's going to keep me standing over the golf ball. Far too often I see people worrying about this line here, this towards the target, away from the target, and we see far too much of this sort of lateral, I call it left and right, rather than this forward and back. I'm feeling that my right shoulder moves behind me, and that basically creates my good turn, keeps me nice and wide, but doesn't create any lateral movement. So when we take that into a starting position, okay, here, we really want to get away from anything that feels wide and lateral to the right. Okay, I want to feel that if my right shoulder moves behind me, the golf club will get moved away from the golf ball. Okay, so just going to do that once more. Right shoulder behind me, golf club moves away, and obviously from there we can start to create the wrist set and the forward rotation work all the way up to the top. So I'm going to hit a couple of shots here. Hopefully going to demonstrate this correctly. There's reasons how hopefully this is something I work on in my game. I have a tendency to make this little bit of a bump away with my upper body, and it's something I'm working towards improving. So this is a really, really good drill for me to feel I'm against that wall and to feel like my first move is right shoulder behind me. That sets the club on a much better path. So let's have a go. Take my setup. I'm going to do one rehearsal first to give that right idea. Okay, perfect. And go ahead. Okay, so pretty awful strike, but the movement away from the ball felt pretty good. So give that one a sort of good for the right feeling, not so good for the right execution. So try that once more. Okay, one rehearsal first. Okay, that's a much better strike and a much better shot. So good feeling for those golfers out there who feel they maybe get a little bit lateral, or even for those who just want to check what they're doing. Rather than feeling that the club's moving away this way and we're following it with the body, let's think about forward and back. The left shoulder's going to come forward, the right shoulder's going to come back. That's basically your turn. The golf club and the arms in that takeaway should take care of themselves. As long as they're connected and we maintain a bit of pressure between the inside of the arms and the rib cage, we should find that as we rotate the shoulders correctly, the club will move into a pretty good position going back. So give it a go. Use a mirror when you're doing this. It's going to give you much better feedback for whether you're actually doing it correctly. But basically, if your right shoulder's against the wall, as you turn, that right shoulder should move away from the wall, not push through it. So as I say, use a mirror, maybe a video camera if you've got access to one of those, but video it, you'll be able to have a look at it and see what you're doing. It should give you a much, what I call purer turn, where we're making a much more stable turn, staying over the golf ball. Therefore, the downswing, we have to put less compensations in to make good contact. And if we make better contact, we should play better golf and basically lower these scores. So give it a go. Give the video a thumbs up if you liked it. Post any comments down below. And please subscribe to the channel. All these videos are free. They're designed to help you play better golf. There's more videos being uploaded every week. So please subscribe to the channel. And we'll see you again soon.